We have another new release from Nomad Cosmetics. I'm very excited about this one. I'm not going to lie. This is the Pacific Northwest palette. Hello and welcome if you are new here. My name is Rachel, and if you're not new here, thank you so much for coming back. I am going to show you close-ups and swatches and give you some information about this new collection. Then I'm going to do 2 looks, and then I will give you my initial thoughts at the end. Now, this is not a review. I do have to use this palette more than twice to get my full and final thoughts, but I want to just kind of showcase the palette, kind of sample and let you know about the formulas, what looks you could get out of them. And of course, I will link Nomad's website down below. When you are seeing this, it is not currently available, but it will be available shortly. I am also going to list everything that is on my face in both looks in the description box. And let's get started, and I can give you some information about this new collection. So Nomad Cosmetics is a destination-based indie brand. They do different collections based on locations around the world. And this one is highlighting the Pacific Northwest. How gorgeous. I want to be here right now in a cozy cabin with my book and no cell phone service for about 5 days. Who's with me? I've always wanted to go to the Pacific Northwest. Let me know if you are from the Pacific Northwest. If you live there, if you've been there, would love to know. So this cover, first of all, is absolutely gorgeous. It is like a textured, if you have the Fiji 5 Lakes palette, it feels very similar in texture, and I love that palette. On the back, we just have some information about the palette, and then this color story on the inside. How beautiful. I feel like this is a perfect grungy palette for fall. I'm so excited. I'm really vibing with this color story. Destination, peaks, pines, and coastal beauty. High above the canopy, the Pacific Northwest stretches in every direction, a breathtaking mix of green valleys, foggy shores, and roaring rivers. Amid mossy trees and glacier-capped ranges, it is rich with awe and wonder, a place where wildlife roams freely, waterfalls cascade like spells, and myths are real. Just ask the Sasquatch. And then it says the palette is Earth's grandeur. Like a painting brought to life, the textured canvas palette cover captures the PNW's soaring peaks, misty forests, and rugged coasts. Inside, spectrum of nature-inspired hues unfold from verdant greens to cascading waterfall blues. 9 flourishing mattes, 3 sparkly shimmers, 4 dazzling duochromes, and 2 majestic multichromes. So that is what I read off the postcard that comes with their collections. This postcard is also textured, very satisfying. The actual unit carton is the same picture as actually it's not, oh, it is the same, but it looks slightly different color-wise. It's more like faded. So it says that this palette will launch on Monday, September 29th around 5 p.m. Eastern time. This is going to be their new launch timing. They typically used to launch at midnight on Tuesday, so they are doing a little slightly earlier. It is an 18-pan palette. Like I said, matte shimmers and a couple of multichromes. It is going to retail for $59. They're also going to be releasing some merch items. I don't have them right now. I guess they are going to send them out in PR, but they're not quite ready yet, so we are going to get them around launch. There is going to be a wool hat and a camping mug. How fun is that? The palette is not limited edition, and it will be available for at least 12 months. And I did receive this palette in PR from the brand. I do have an affiliate code with Nomad. It's Rachel if you want to use it to save 10% at checkout. I do get a small commission from the sale, so thank you so much if you do use my code. It really does help me out a lot. I want this on my face. I want it on my face now. This looks absolutely gorgeous. I have not even swatched the palette yet. I'm always like hesitant when it comes to swatching Nomad palettes because their embossings are so beautiful. They are vegan and cruelty-free. They do allocate some of the proceeds to a charity. And this one says, we are proud to support Conservation Northwest that works to protect, connect, and restore wildlands and wildlife of the Pacific Northwest. Yeah, I'm very excited. Let's get started. I wanna get this on my eyes right now. Okay, so I've already primed my eyes. I wanna go in with the shade Foggy Forest. I'm curious as to how that is gonna show up on my skin tone. If it's even going to show up at all. Let's find out. It's pretty close to my skin tone. There's a little bit of like an olive undertone to it, but I can see it. I'm gonna wipe that same brush off on my Sigma switch I want to go into this shade called PNW. It's really gorgeous olive green, and put this a little lower in the crease. I'm going to take a smaller brush and I'm going to go into the shade Sasquatch Sighting. I love how there's a Sasquatch embossed on the pan. That is so cool. I'm going to put this in my outer corner. Oh yeah, that's a really nice pigment level. I'm just going to repeat those same 3 mattes on my lower lash line, going from darkest to lightest. I'm actually leaving out the lightest matte. I just did the other 2 mattes on my lower lash line. To prep for one of the shimmers, I am going to put the NYX Glitter Primer all over my lid. There's so many beautiful ones to choose from. What do I choose? I don't know. I think I'm just going to go all out green and go into Ecotopia right here. This definitely looks like one of the multi-chromes. Oh, look at that. I'm so excited. Oh yeah, that is gorgeous. Beautiful. If you have not used Nomad's multi-chrome formula before, I've described it as not super strong shifting and a little bit more on the drier side. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I actually think that it is good for those of you who suffer from creasing on your eyelids, or if you have more mature eyelids and you don't want to accentuate texture. I feel like these are just really, really nice for that. This is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I love it. I love greens though, so, you know, I'm not complaining about that. There is nothing in this palette that I feel like I want to use as an inner corner highlight, so I am going to go off camera. I am going to find something else to put in my inner corner. I'm going to finish up the rest of my makeup, and I'm going to come back to show you the final look. All right, and this is the finished look number 1. What do you think? Gorgeous. I love greens. I'm really feeling this look. I enjoyed all of the shades that I used. The mattes worked great. Great pigment level, easy to work with, easy to blend, and the shimmer that's on the lid, I've already told you, is stunning. So I reached into a build your own palette that I made with Lethal Cosmetics for my inner corner highlight, which is a matte white. So yeah, and again, if you want to know anything else that's on my face, check the description box. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do for my next look. I kind of don't plan these things very well. I kind of just go with the vibes, you know? So you're going to find out now. All right, I'm going to do a second look with the palette. I kind of want to do a halo eye. I haven't done one in a while, so that's what I'm thinking. I have already primed my eyes. I'm going to go in with that same shade Foggy Forest here that I used in the first look and just put this through the crease. I'm going to go into the shade Perfect Pinot right here and put this in the outer and inner corner. I definitely would suggest doing your eyes first if you don't like fallout, because I'm getting a lot of fallout on my face. These mattes definitely have quite a lot of kick up in the pan. I think I'm gonna try to see if this shade Sasquatch Sighting here, if that's gonna build the depth up. I'm gonna put that in the inner and outer corner as well. Yes, it definitely is darker. And I also, off camera, put that Perfect Pinot shade on my lower lash line. I'm gonna do the same with this shade. A lot of fallout. I definitely should have done my eye makeup first, but that's my fault. I'm gonna take the Shine On Shimmer Shadow Enhancer from Cleona and Bad to the Brow and put that in the empty space in the middle of my lid. I really want to use this shade here called Cascadia. It looks like it's a duochrome. I'm gonna pop this right in the center of my lid. That is stunning. Ooh, that is beautiful. I feel like this would be really pretty also layered over some things because it is a little bit more of like an iridescent duochrome. It doesn't have a strong base color. All right, again, there's nothing in here that I want to use as an inner corner highlight, so I'm just gonna go ahead and find something in my collection and finish up the rest of my look and come back to show you the final look and to give you my initial thoughts on this palette. All right, and this is the finished look number 2. What do you think? I think it came out really pretty. The mattes work beautifully, although, like I said, definitely want to make sure that you're aware I did get a lot of fallout. There's a little bit of kick up in the pan with these mattes, which means they're not super hard pressed, which in my opinion is a good thing. They show up pretty pigmented on the eyes, and the shimmer on the lid is a really gorgeous duochrome. Wow, super pretty. So my initial thoughts on this palette are, I think it's the really good quality. I mean, I only used 2 shimmers, but the 2 shimmers that I used were really nice, super shiny. The multi-chrome was super dimensional, which you obviously saw in the first look. And I'm really looking forward to using all the shimmers now. I have swatched the palette now that I'm recording the second look, and the shimmers swatched great. More of that like sparkly, like really small sparkle particle type shimmer. Really stunning. And the mattes all swatched great. So I think the color story of this is so pretty. If you are someone who likes grungy tones, a mix of cool and warm tones, because I definitely think there's both versions in here, blues, greens, and then more kind of, again, the word that's coming to mind is grungy. So grungy neutrals over here, but the shimmers are a lot of different variety, bright pops, more neutral pops. I think it's a really good thought out color story. I love the theming. I love the packaging as per usual with Nomad. They always really do a good job with that kind of stuff. So very excited to have this in my collection, and I would love to know your thoughts down in the comments after watching this video. Are you interested in picking up this palette? Are you gonna skip on it? Is it something you're gonna add to a wish list and maybe pick up later? Like I said, it's not limited edition, so it is gonna be around for a year. Don't feel like you need to run out and grab it if it's not in your budget or it's not the right time for you. It's gonna be around for a while, but would love to know your thoughts down in the comments. And I wanna thank you so much for watching today, and I will see you in another video really soon. Bye.